What is it called when you discriminate on age?
Ageism. But it's typically like you discriminating up, like old folks.
Mike is the smart one out of us two.
We both college educated men. In case y'all didn't know that, this is a pod of college educated men.
But Mike is the smart one. He told me a long time ago, the smartest people on campus, you said somebody in philosophy majors. You told me that.
Yeah.
What's your major?
Religious studies.
See? Yeah. Y'all right there beside the philosophy major, so there we go. I want to say this.
We better than the philosophy majors, actually. But yeah.
See, here we go. This is look, it's the 100th episode, so I got some shit to get off first. 100. Who calling me? Oh, it's my grandma calling me. Grandma, I got to call you back. See, that might be the Lord stepping in like, yo, calm it down, sir. But I'm going to put it like this. To the podcast, never mind. I'm going to bleep that part. I probably won't. The thing is this. I am sick and tired of male spaces. Male created spaces, male generated spaces, spaces that are catered to males. I am tired of us. When views ain't viewing, when likes ain't liking.
What we doing that when that's happening?
Ladies, come to the front of the congregation.
Ladies, come on down to the altar.
Save us.
Come on down to the altar. When everything's going bad.
Please, black women, come save our ass.
Run straight down over here. But here's the thing, though. It's not even saving in the sense of, like, it'd be different if it was saving in the sense of you was like, yo, big up to my sisters and black girl magic.
They don't even do that.
They don't do that. What they do is, sisters come down here and dunk on brothers.
Please. That is the most annoying thing. For the last week, see, here's the thing. Mike being out of the country, right?
Thank God. Had a great time, by the way.
We're going to get there. Woo. And so I had a lot of time to think. I was clicking on a lot of profiles from other podcasts, other just men organizations. Yeah. And I was seeing that the likes was, they crept down from 1,000 to 100.
Yeah.
From 100 to 75.
Yeah.
Then they got down to the 37. I almost need to put the church music behind this. And I'm looking, and you know what the next post was? A woman coming to sit in a seat, coming up there, and it's like, yo, here's the thing, fellas, and I'm saying this to the men. We got to stop focusing on likes and focus on impact.
Yeah, impact and content, and stay true to yourself. Like that's the biggest thing, is just staying true to yourself. Look, the algorithm is going to algorithm. It's going to do what it's going to do. Sometimes your content is so good that it's going to push it, but then sometimes it doesn't matter. And what happens is if you get into that pandering, because the reason why the pandering goes is because it generates activity.
Absolutely.
Right? Because the fellas are coming there saying like, yeah, nah, that ain't the case. And the women are coming there saying, yeah, that's absolutely the case. That back and forth heats it. Now they can put an ad on your shit.
Yeah.
And they can sell that.
And don't give you none of the money, by the way.
I'll give you none of the money. But fellas, though, what happens is you lose your credibility with other people that are in your space.
Facts.
So like
me,
so like the space that we're in is our pod is taking off and blowing up. It's a lot of individuals that 50 episodes ago I was like, oh yeah, I want to collaborate with them. And then now I see that we're in two separate spaces. 50 episodes is a good year and a half sometimes.
Absolutely.
Right? So, and it's like, yo, we're in two different directions. And it's like, ooh, not only do I not want to, cooperate with them anymore, or collab with them rather, I'm glad we didn't the first time.
Facts.
Like, so, I don't know, man.
I know. I was pissed off. Bro, I was just looking. I'm just like, and it was funny because last year, a guy had reached out to me and he was like, yo, what you think about a dad conference, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, me and Mike was planning on going. And in the last minute, not even the last minute, probably a month out, I text Mike. I was like, yo, we're not going. And I told him, I said, they got female women speakers at a dad's conference.
Yeah, on a dad's conference, it was like,
because let me tell you,
8 people on the panel. And
absolutely. 4 of them was women. Here's the thing. Fellas, I'm here to tell y'all something. I shoot a lot of women. I take pictures of a lot of women. They love the shit that I talk. I love them. They love me. I support black women despite the narrative. Let me tell y'all this. When they have something and when numbers ain't numbering, they ain't running for us to come save their ass.
No.
One, they dig in deeper. They figure out what's not working. They go reach out to other women and say, hey sis, help me out. Hey sis, what would get you to do X, Y, and Z? We got to stop being lazy.
Well, the misandry sells, and the guys fall into that on their pod because it's easy to say, yo, all those dudes out there, can't get their shit together. But I'm good though. Isn't that right, ladies? Right? And then when they get the likes for that, they feel vindicated, right? Like I was watching a clip off of one of these Sucker MC fellow podcasts. And he said something that was so stupid. I don't even think I think it is. I think we did send it today. So I think we are going to talk about it later. But it was so stupid. But when you go look at the likes and the comments, you would feel that he said the right thing, right? Everything that he said is asinine. And truth be told, I'm so sick of all these men out here with their granddaddy's last name and not their daddy's last name. That present themselves as if they know what it means to be a man. Right? Like to be a man is not the violence that you can create. It is not the hurt you can inflict. It is not, how big or how bad you are, how much money you can spend. The things that make you a man, like when you're growing up, like I'm teaching my son right now, like, yo, these are the things that men have to have, right? And right now we're talking about courage, right? Which is when you're afraid to do something, you're going to have to do it regardless, right? Fear is part of it, but courage is pushing through it, right?
Absolutely.
That's what it means to be a man, right? Okay. It's never going to be his ability to win a fist fight, right? Yeah. Like that, his natural ability will help him either win or not win, a physical altercation. But that mental of what it means to actually, how do I get through this without causing more damage? Or how do I get through this without, hurting myself? Or how do I get through this without wanting, to unalive myself, right? Like these are the questions that men have. That's all mental, right? Absolutely. Being a man is about restraint. And I'm so sick of y'all piss poor, sucker MC, sassy ass dudes coming out here
in our comments.
And in our comments. Oh, we're gonna get to one of those too. And just, you're making stuff because you want to get likes, right? You're saying stuff because you think that this is what the women want to hear, right? Like our most viral one. What did the dude say? Nah, this is not facts, ladies. This don't even make sense. If I'm with a shorty and I'm already turned on, real reason for a man to be semi-hard. Okay, it's bad grammar. All right, rare cases I'm super tired. So if he's not hard and blaming you, it's because his homeboy handled him already. Because I don't know about these old ninjas, right? So it's like,
bruh, I'm not the old one of the pot.
No, sorry, he's a young cat. But it's like, yo, like, dude, if you're doing what other people in sign language do in the misandrous, population.
Ooh,
right?
Can I tell you what it is?
Yeah.
When you don't want a woman, it's because you broke or you gay.
Yeah. There you go. That's if the first place you want to go to is like, oh man, you gay.
And it's Pride Month.
And here's the thing. Oh, what if a man is gay? What does that change about him being a man?
Shout out to our gay listeners.
Yeah, who cares?
They send great content to us.
Yeah, like you guys instantly go into the comment, and I let the women get it off, right? Because look, there's nothing you can do about women's sign language on the internet. You can't report it.
You can't.
It don't matter if you block half of them and assign it to another account and made a comment. So it's like, so we let the women get it off. We do because we do need the engagement. But when we catch y'all fellas, when I catch you boys with your granddaddy's last name and not your daddy's last name in the comment section, I am going to address it. So just know, yo, you can respond, but I'm gonna make you defend that shit.
Absolutely, because here's the thing: as a dude, you look weird. It kind of goes to and Daryl. I don't know if you want me to say your name, bro, but shout out to Daryl Dash. That's the homie. Follow him. And it was funny because when we was at the live show, us three was talking, and he was laughing at a dude, a part of his community, talking to us about sleeping with women when in their community, they don't like sleeping with women.
Yeah.
Like homosexual men they are not attracted to women, right? And it was just like, we keep having these conversations, and you dudes do a lot of pandering. And it's the pander season. I get it. We get Black History Month, we get Juneteenth, we get Pride Month. Women's month is all like, you got 3 months.
Black History Month not even for us anymore, bro. Like Black History Month,
Juneteenth wasn't for us.
Yeah, it's not even for. If you are a family straight black male, like no one cares about Black History Month for you. Nobody cares about Juneteenth for you. You might get something for Father's Day, maybe.
Yeah.
Right. Like your baby mama might tell you Happy Father's Day.
Oh, thank you.
Right. Your wife might tell you, I love you. Happy Father's Day, right? It's just like, so we're in this space now, if we're being 100% honest, where black men do not have a lot of support. Like black men, you do not have any friends. So on this pod, yes, I am going to shoot cultural bail for black men. I am going to embellish the stats maybe a little bit for black men, right? I am, right? I ain't gonna lie to you, but it's some stuff that I may leave out because I'm like, nah, I'm not about to bang on the bros today. Fuck that. It's 100 pods out there to bang on bros.
Absolutely. I would name some, but for what? Hold on, let me play this video.
Kohler.
Oh.
He just roomed with me in the summers. David Kohler is the plumbing family. So $7 billion plumbing family. So if you look in, y'all go to these bathrooms right now, you're going to see Kohler.
Oh, my God.
That's them.
Is that Kohler?
Yes, that's them. That was my college roommate in the summers.
Oh, my God.
So his family was, they
crazy.
were probably close to $300-400 million business, but I didn't know this. So I'm like, first of all, I'm like, why are you not paying rent when I found this out? I'm like, yo, you're sleeping on the couch and not paying rent.
Come on
Let's
now.
start there. I'm like, so why did your father just make you an executive? He's like, nah, I got to be a plumber first. I'm like, what? Because we, from where I'm from.
Oh, yeah. We
made it. We all made it.
We all made it.
We made it. He's
We're
like,
on.
We on. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, because he's going to make me be a plumber and then I go through the steps. So if I get an invoice as an executive for $7 for screws, I know that they're really $3.
Mm-hmm.
So I know everything about the company. I said, man, I do the same thing in sport. Like, I know everything that
All right, so that's super interesting. First of all, that's super cool.
Yeah. To go to college with the Kohler guy.
I wonder if he get free toilets now, but that's not the point.
Rich people are not known for giving out free stuff.
You know what's
That's why they're rich.
What's funny is my boy told me about this. And, in his company, you have to work every position for so many months and as moving up because you need to understand how everything works.
Everything works, yeah.
And I thought that was super cool, doing with family, I don't know. What's your thoughts on this?
I like it, but I think sometimes as first generation, like fully white collar individuals, I think we do our children a disservice by not making them do more and work for more things. I think a lot of us, because we struggle, right, and our parents struggle when it comes to our children, we're like, I want to make sure, my kids don't struggle, and I'm partly, guilty of this, right? Like, if I can make my son's life easier, I'm going to make his life easier, right? Whereas when I was a kid, like probably the first 4 years of my life, I legit grew up on a farm. Yeah. Right? Like in the country, like until my granddad passed, like it was a farm. Once he passed, obviously, there was no one there to do the work. But that was like, for me, all that was natural. Like I didn't even see it as hard. But when it comes to my son, I'm like, man, I need to take you camping, right? Because you don't know what it's like to be in the country. You don't know what it's like to be out late at night. You don't know what it's like to hear crickets and frogs and to hear something and be like, what was that? While you're out at 9 o'clock at night. So I think Kenny, told a great story there. I just wonder, as we grow, right? As the pod grows and a decade from now, are we going to have our sons, doing the grunt work, or are we going to just be like, nah, we're just going to put you in front of a camera and you do what you do.
Do your thing.
Yeah.
I laugh because I didn't grow up like my parents did, you know what I'm saying? And it's super interesting, but still, like, most people don't know, my family had a cleaning business growing up, right? And my dad finally closed the cleaning business down once me and my sister got out of college. But yeah, I wasn't going to high school basketball games and football games because we was cleaning buildings. But what made me laugh is I hate for my toilet to be dirty. Like, you know what I'm saying? I judge people when I go to their house and their toilet's dirty. I be looking at them funny, you know what I'm saying? But it was a lot of that, it was a lot of those type of things where it was like, I was cleaning up crazy places and it was one of those things. But, I do think it's a generational thing because, look, my dad stayed in a 2-bedroom house with all his aunts and uncles, and it was 6 of them, plus my great-grandmother and my grandma, right? Because my grandma had him fairly young. But, I didn't grow up off of there. By the way, I went to my great-grandma's house. This is so off-key. We did a family shoot there. Look, and my aunt had a rule, and it's a beautiful rule. She buys, years ago, probably about, from 30-something. So probably about 20 years ago, my aunt started buying houses, and her number one rule in buying a house is she needed to be able to see Hearst Tower or the Bank of America building, right?
Yeah.
She said, I have to be able to see it from either the main street outside of my neighborhood.
Nice.
And she said, in her mind, if she could see it, she knows when it goes through our family, one day Uptown is just going to expand far back.
Yeah.
So she has all these crazy houses. Anyway, we went to my great grandma's house, and it's like a $500,000 home right beside my grandma 2-bedroom shotgun house. And I looked at my dad like, do I get this one?
Yeah.
And then he looked, this air property, boy, you can't do nothing over here. You need too many signatures. I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to talk to my aunt though, because she ain't got no kids, so I gotta figure something out.
Yeah, you can put
a podcast studio on there.
No, you can put a unit on it, like a multiplex, quadplex, condo.
Bruh.
Collect the residual revenue from it. But no, that's dope as hell. Your aunt was smart. I like that.
Yo, I want to welcome everybody to the 100th episode. Hold on, where the hand claps? See, this how I know people messing. I got gunshots on here that ain't gunshotting because they mess with too much. This why. Never mind. Let me stop talking about black people. The 100th episode. I want to welcome everybody here. I'm grateful for y'all. I'm thankful for y'all. It's been a ride, yo. It has been a ride.
It has been. Think about it. We went from one episode
in a small room. Well, we was in my upstairs bedroom.
Yeah, and to now 100 episodes. To all you guys, here following us,
cussing
listening.
Us out.
Yeah, like
it's
it's crazy. And just think about what the next 100 is gonna be like. We've done this. It's time to go ahead and step it up to the next level, man. I appreciate all you guys for real.
Shout out to Mimi. Shout out to Baraka. Shout out to
to our original folks. If any names we missing, man.
Yeah, we're gonna say too, so y'all can't cuss out. Even though my sister did call and cuss me out, her commenting on that video earlier, she got suspended on Instagram for it. She was cussing people out, bro. My sister hit me up. She was like, y'all video, I can't even comment on nothing. I can only like stuff. They suspended her commenting privileges, bro. But I think she got off a punishment, last week. Yeah, bro. So shout out to my sister, man. Welcome back to the fold.
Hey, man.
I told her, I was like, yo, I'm going to have to just stop you. But but shout out to that.
We're gonna restrict it. That's all.
We're just gonna restrict my sister. How was your trip, man? Welcome back to the States. Talking about I went out of town.
Hey, man, it was great, man. It was great. I went to some Gulf countries, so
okay.
Different life over there, man. I went to
I bet.
Bahrain and Dubai, and people were great. Food was good.
How do women look? I'm asking for the single fellas on the pod.
Man, don't y'all go over there and get in trouble, but they nice. They nice. They nice. I ain't even gonna lie. Don't y'all take out butts over there and get in trouble, but they nice.
You can go over there and start a new family.
Yeah.
Hey, man,
I'm gonna leave it alone because what I don't want to do is ever
blow up the spot, make it hot.
Yeah, make a spot hot. But also, I don't want people to think like there's not good women here. Like there's good women in the States, bro. Like,
they just married already. Go ahead.
Yeah, most of them are married. So it's like I like the whole like passport bro thing. Like I travel. Like I'm not a passport bro. It might be adjacent to the passport bro university, but I'm not a passport bro. But I mean, I like to travel. I like new experience, like going places I've never been before. I think we're going to Carnival in February. I think that's the next one.
Hey, baby, this to my wife. I am going. I'm letting you know. I told you. You said you was going to support me on the podcast. Your support is you actually listening. I'm going to Brazil next February. Whenever Mike say my visa's still good.
Yeah, I think we'll hit Carnival next. And it's like, to me, that's a lived experience. Like being able to get out of the country and do something that you've never done before. These places are cheaper than the city I live in. Like I went to a mart in Dubai and I bought a water like this size if you're looking, like a huge water, like 33, 40-ounce water, a Red Bull, a candy bar, and something else. It was like, and a Coke. Because I had bought some alcohol. This is why I went to Bahrain and Dubai, because both of those places you can have alcohol. So I bought all that, man, and like when I checked out, like dude, it was like it came out to $5.45.
That's stupid.
American, right? Now you're in one of the most expensive quote unquote cities in the world, right?
Yeah,
and you can go to a mart, not a grocery store. You can go to a mart on the corner, and it's $5.45. And another thing I'm gonna tell you guys, a lot of times you act people are like, yo, what's the exchange rate? Don't worry about the exchange rate,
okay?
Because it's gonna cost what it's gonna cost you in American dollars. So it doesn't matter if $1 American is 100 of their dollars or if $1 American dollar is 0.2 of their dollars.
Yeah.
is what you pay for something. So like buy something common, right? Like buy like a Coke or Pepsi. So if you go to a grocery store and buy a 20-ounce Coke, it's like what, $2.25?
Yeah.
So if you go to a foreign country, you go buy a Coke and it's $1.
Yeah.
That means that your trip is about to cost you half of whatever it costs you in the States.
Facts.
If you go there and it costs you $4, then that means that your trip is about to cost you double of what it costs you in the States.
Do not go to Australia.
So like, don't really worry about exchange rates. And another thing is, get a card that does international transactions for you.
Facts.
And anytime you tap your card, always choose their currency because chances are it's going to convert better in dollars anyway.
Yo, shout out to you for that. Look, I am getting to that part of my life now where it's like, whenever I want to take like group trips, depending on my wife gonna try to figure out a way she can get there.
The ladies can come, man. The ladies, I mean that. I'm going to Carnival, so I mean the ladies can come, but I'm gonna be in Carnival.
I'm coming, man. I will be there. You had wrote our group about music over there.
Yeah. So all right. So this is what's crazy, right? So you're in Gulf countries, right? So you're in these. So Bahrain is not a restrictive. It's Muslim, but it's not like what you're thinking. And Dubai is like under Bahrain. So one of the things that stood out to me is that, you know, here I am. So I'm at the beach and I hear Unforgettable, right? So I'm hearing the song, like that's like it is one of my favorite songs, even though like French Montana is not one of my favorite artists. Unforgettable is like, to me, it's a hip hop classic. So I hear the music and I turn around and this is these four, you know, I mean, I don't know what nationality they are, but these four Gulf kids listening to the song. So I turn around, right? And then they see me. And then, you know, I give them the thumbs up. They give me the thumbs up. And it's like, yo, it's like I'm 8,000 miles away from home. And my culture, right? Like, that's my culture. That's not their culture. That's my culture. It's over here. And they're vibing at the beach. And then when I'm leaving the beach, it's like an outdoor workout facility. They're playing Lil Wayne. It's Lollipop playing. It's like, think about this, and I don't think we really understand this. I don't think we get how awesome we are as a culture. I am halfway across the world, and the music that is made by men that look like me in the states that we are born in, they are there playing our music. Imagine being here and somebody was playing. I can't even tell you other music because our music is everywhere now. But right, but imagine being in the States and you're at the gym and you hear you know, I don't know, like you hear music from Arabia, right? Arabian Nights, right? And imagine you're from there and you in the gym and you hear that music and you're like, dang, my culture is all the way over here at the YMCA, you know, in Uptown Charlotte. Yeah. So here I am, all the way across the world, and I hear my culture. I hear my music. I hear people wearing what we've made popular. And I don't think we get enough credit. Well, we don't get enough credit by being the individuals that push culture around the world, for one. But two, a big problem is we don't own it. We don't own it. So the moment I hear that, the moment I see it, the second thing that comes to my mind is like, damn, that's my culture. Right, so I'm walking by and I was like, "Yo, that's my culture." Right, I'm talking to the young lady that I met. Like, "Yo, that's my culture." She's like, "Yeah, you're right." Right, but the second thing I think of is like, "Yo, we don't own it."
Nah, we don't own none of the music. And plus, these labels making sure the rappers that's gonna die in 5 years get popular so that they can.
Yeah, and it's just like, I mean, so again, one of the biggest premise on this pod, you can say what you want to say. You can say whatever you want to say about us. Mm-hmm. But one of the things that we always focus on in this pod is family, building a business, and how do we fix, the nation, right?
Yeah.
And part of it is ownership. Like, that's a huge part. Is we do have to own things, but the second part of that is family. Like, we do have to get back to having, our men and our women under the same roof, protected, protecting one another and creating this culture. And it's funny, that's a good segue to the next topic. But this ideal of protection, right? Like, partly my wife's job is to protect me from doing something stupid, right?
Absolutely.
Not putting the battery in my back, right?
Absolutely.
My job is to make sure that she's always in a safe environment. You can't do that if you're not together. You can't do that if you don't live together. You can't do that if you're not married to one another. I was watching one of those Panda Bear clips, and the guy, one of the things that he said, I should find it and play it real quick, but he's like, when women are always living in their masculine energy, there's no way for them to be feminine. And when I saw it, it made me think for a moment. I was like, he's absolutely right, because she's supposed to be under her father's roof. And that masculine energy from her father is supposed to cover her. So she can do what? Live in her feminine energy, right? What everybody's agreeing to, he's absolutely right. Her father is supposed to cover her with that masculine energy. And then she's supposed to rotate from under his masculine energy until my masculine energy. And then she can always be in her feminine divine. But we're in this place now to whereas if you say fathers don't really matter, and you don't really have to listen to dads, and despite every statistic showing you that 2-parent households are better, if the father do have to carry the kid, the father makes more money, so typically that create better outcomes than with a child being raised with just a mother-led home. Despite all these facts being true, we spend more time trying to disprove what we know to be true, than actually doing what we know to be right.
If you don't know what we're talking about, the family in Chicago, a woman and her son were at a restaurant, and this guy come in and he's just off his rocker yelling, blah, 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 right? And he tells the woman and say, yo, say something again, I'm going to hit you, whatever their conversation. They get in an altercation, and he's like just laying it in on his chick. The woman instructs her son to go get the gun. He gets the gun, comes back, kills the guy. Now, I'm going to tell you this. We sitting at home and my wife is telling me about it, and she's emotional about it because at this point in time, the mom and the son are facing murder charges, right? And so I'm gonna be super transparent, but I want everybody to understand. The first thing I told my wife was, I said, sometimes as a parent, you got to know when you putting your kid in harm's way, or when you about to really F up your kid's life, and you got to ask yourself, am I cool with that?
Yeah.
I said, so this guy is, you and this guy are in a thing, because mind you, I hadn't heard about the story. My wife is the actual person who told me about the story. And still to this day, I saw 3 seconds of the video and I refuse to watching it. I don't care who's right or wrong. I'm done watching black men get killed on camera.
Absolutely.
I'm just done with it.
We're the only ones whose death gets showed over and over and over on Twitter.
So I'm not here to excuse that man because he literally decided he wanted to put his hands on a female. And for every action, there is a reaction.
Exactly.
So I'm not even here to. I don't think there's no way to defend that.
No, it's no way to defend him at all, right? Like what he did, you could tell that he probably has done that before. I don't know him, but it's for me as a man, it would be hard for me to ever throw a close-handed fist at a woman because multiple times. Yeah, because it's like, yo, I've hit a guy before and been like, oh goodness, is he okay?
Yeah, are you okay? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And so my wife told me that, and then of course the following days later, the charges get dropped. They're saying that bro might have had a weapon on him. It's all these things, and first thing came to my mind was, oh, this is in Chicago. This mom and son cannot go to jail. In my mind, because in my mind, do you want your city to be on fire? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And certain things, I do believe, first of all, I don't have too much faith in the government in itself, but I do understand that the government looks at certain things and like, what's the pros and cons of putting this mom and son being attacked in jail versus not?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it was just a sad situation, dog. And but you know what? It did cause me and my wife to have the conversation of, yo, what does putting our son in danger looks like? You know what I'm saying? Because for those not know, I talk too much about my family and give y'all too much personal information. But my wife, my mother-in-law, let's talk about her. She's from Brooklyn. She's a Puerto Rican woman from Brooklyn, New York. She's still loud. She still got the accent. She still got the New York accent. My mother-in-law has no problem with beeping her horn, yelling at people when she's driving. I have to instruct them at all the times, like, yo, you can't do that to people.
Yeah.
And then we'll see something crazy on TV of somebody getting shot from road rage, right?
Yeah.
And so sometimes I tell my wife is like, sometimes your temporary emotions can affect, because no matter what, bruh, this this mom and son, I hope they go get therapy. This 14-year-old just took somebody's life, bro.
No, absolutely.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. And he did it at the behest of his mother,
telling him to. Absolutely.
And it's like, okay, I don't know their situation. Mm-hmm. I don't know the guy who got shot. I don't know his situation. Y'all know I'm a huge advocate of keeping your hands to yourself.
Facts.
Right? Like it's the one that I've said many times on this pod. You can say what you want to say to me. Do not touch me.
Yeah.
All right. If you touch me, all bets are off because a lot of times it's just reactionary, right?
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like, it's not even, like how I feel at that point. It's just like, yo, this is just how I react to people touching me.
Absolutely.
So what happened, I'm not even saying it's right or wrong.
Nah.
I'm saying it happened. And I don't feel one way or another because you need to keep your hands to yourself.
Absolutely.
When it comes to that mother and son, it's kind of hard for me to it's hard for me to discuss and say what I would say off mic, on mic, right? Because I don't understand the whole situation, right? I don't know how he was raised, what the family situation is,
Where his dad
is. I don't have enough information to make a generalization towards all of them, right? Now, I do know that this looks very son husband like, right? That's how it looks. Do I know that? I do not know that. I do know that if it was myself, right, as a man, because I understand like what happened in that video is something that men understand that can happen. Yeah. So as a guy, I can't even say that I would get into it with another guy, especially at a burger shop, right?
Yeah.
I can't say I can't say it's worth it, to escalate anything to that level.
Yeah.
But with that being said, personally, my whole take on it, keep your hands to yourself.
And before we go to the next subject, another thing that made me super sad was, I saw this man who put his hands on the mom, right? Yeah. I saw his picture floating around with his mom. Yeah. Not his mom and dad.
Yeah, just
like his mom and grandma.
Yep.
In a picture. And that stood out to me. The second thing was it was a lot of jokes, a lot of comments. And like I said, I don't believe that man was right at all.
No.
I'm not here to say, hey, he shouldn't have lost his life. Because when you put your hands on somebody, and when you put your hands on a woman, and it's other men around, and they're not helping her, the only thing she knows to do is only one person here that has my back. Hey, go get help. Yeah. In the form of a firearm. Cool, whatever. But the jokes, I don't believe if this was a white male. I don't believe if this was a Hispanic male, an Asian male. I don't believe if this was a white, black, Asian, Hispanic woman that had got killed, that all them jokes would have been flying.
No.
I do believe that it's easier to make these damn jokes. That's why I said I didn't even have to watch the video because I'm tired of seeing black men die on camera. Yeah,
and as black men, we should try to do a better job to avoid dying on camera. And sometimes the avoidance is the camouflage, the removal of yourself from the environment. Yeah. And I think this is something that as black men, we do have to become, better at, right? These ultra violent cities, if you're able of moving, right? Mm-hmm. If you have nothing that's holding you to the city, right? Yeah. You're renting the place that you stay. You've lost friends and family. Yeah. You can't really find a job where you are. Bruh, Get out of that area and go somewhere else.
Absolutely. All the Chicago rappers move their kids to Michigan if y'all don't know.
No, I mean, but here's the thing. Everybody should go because the only way to stay away from the violence is to get away from the violence a lot of times.
Facts. The NBA draft happened. Did y'all, let me guess, the Miami Heat, y'all drafted nobody because y'all want a full team of undrafted players so y'all can just talk that shit off for the rest of the year.
We still gonna get Dame. Dame coming to Miami.
Man, Dame getting on my nerves. Wemby went number one. The boy who, look, I'm not here to talk. Brandon Miller, if you ever want to come on the pod, bro, let me know. But you got to have a kid first. And you shouldn't until you married. So we'll wait on you.
There you go. We'll wait for that to happen.
And, bruh, be careful. Come holler at us. We're going to tell you where to go and where not to go in Charlotte.
Here's the thing about Brandon Miller. He reminds me a lot of Brandon Ingram.
Okay.
Like, he doesn't really remind me like he doesn't remind me of Kevin Durant, right? Like for me, drafting a 6'10", 6'9" player, like those are the two places where I put him. Like, right? Is he Kevin Durant or is he Brandon Ingram? And Brandon Ingram's is obviously a really good talented player, but
absolutely.
I don't think you win in games because you have Brandon Ingram.
Nah.
And that's how Brandon Miller seems like that with me. I think they should have went and got Scoop.
They should have, but Hornets, they need a point guard.
Terrible ownership did what terrible ownership do. But they did draft Melo last year.
Yeah, they did. And we're gonna see what's gonna happen with Melo. I think Melo about to be up for a renewal, but you said he out of here.
Melo's definitely out of here. He's definitely going to LA.
Hey, Hornets, let me tell y'all what's gonna happen. Bronny is going to be there available. You're going to end up trading LaMelo for LeBron and a bunch of other draft picks and some other crap. I'm just telling y'all right now, everybody be happy. Melo do not want to be in Charlotte. He don't spend no damn time in Charlotte.
Nah,
we don't see that Lambo truck no more. He got the girls.
Where he be at? He been back in Cali?
Bruh, he always, with,
I need to go follow his Instagram.
With
I like
a ski
Melo.
mask on.
He's like my favorite player.
Yeah. Hayden loved him. Hayden saw him. He came and spoke at like a school or something.
I like Melo.
But
I'm gonna follow him on Instagram when we get off this pod.
But my nephew go to a school in the white side of town, so, the Hornets players go there. That was the other part that sucked about being like in a middle ground like school in this city. You either got to be at a super poor school and they'll send like No Limit Larry there, or you got to be at a whitest school and they'll send a basketball player there. If you in the middle, you get nothing, dog. Yo, Zion, your girl got suspended, bruh. I will give you hand claps. Did they delete the hand claps? Shout out to
she needed to be suspended.
She did need to be suspended. And there was a tweet that went out, and it's been retweeted so much. And the tweet goes a little something like, if the roles were reversed, Zion would have been arrested by now.
Yeah, well, I mean, it just goes to show you like the misandric aggression that men have to deal with, especially black men have to deal with in this country, right?
Okay.
Everything that's happening to Zion, everybody thinks is okay. Like I actually saw that she's like somebody is willing to pay her for the videos between her and Zion.
Absolutely.
And I'm almost certain that it's revenge porn at this point. Like
it is.
Nowhere else would this be okay, but for some reason, because it's the brooding black brute, right? It's okay to just what rights do the brooding black brute have?
I looked at this and I said, I have never in the history of revenge porn heard somebody notifies the victim's job.
Yeah.
And say, hey, billionaire, if you don't trade him to another billionaire, I'm going to break the law.
Yeah, I'm gonna share the porn. So good list for all guys out here. Porn should be on your phone. You should use two-factor authentication.
But sometimes that's what the girls do. They be like, "Yo, we can record if it's on my phone."
Yeah, no, you can't. This is a good example. Like you can't. Now, I mean, obviously, men have to be trustworthy. You need to be a vault, but there's no way that Zion, being a $200 million athlete, should ever let any woman record them doing anything to him, except for maybe giving head. Anything else, it has to be no pictures. Your phone can't be out around me. You can't picture me. You can't video me. I have too much at stake, and if you can't respect what I have at stake, then you don't respect me.
Yo, Zion, you need to call Trey Songz and get his NDA. Even though Trey Songz is a alleged creep and do some weird stuff, you notice them girls wait till that NDA is either gone or they just violated.
Yeah.
But you got to get his. Like Trey Songz is in there pissing on bitches.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where you can't be like. You don't
have to do nothing. Just come in.
Yeah.
Zion got to stop that. That's Spartanburg.
He was born in North Carolina. But my whole point is, if the roles were reversed, this would look way worse. But
absolutely.
But for some reason, anytime this is applied to black men, it really is just glossed over. Even by us as black men, right? Like none of us feel bad for Zion.
Nah, not at all.
Right?
We actually making jokes.
Yeah, we cracking jokes about it. None of us are like, dang man, I hope that doesn't happen to me, right? We don't relate because that's how this country has provided black men the space of, when we have pain, that shit is individualized.
Bruh, look at this past week, Sunday, BET Awards. Yo, Uzi get his with a phone. He get yelled at. He get berated. We going home from JT, his girlfriend, because allegedly he up here staring in Ice Spice eyes. And then, it's assault. But guess what happened on Monday? Yo, if I was JT, I would have did more. If I was JT, I would have cracked him with a phone 3 times. If I was JT, I would have did this and that. Okay, assault is cool because it's on a black man. And I'm not saying it's right, but how come you turn around, but the assault 2 weeks ago, before that, with Suki, which everybody agreed was, that's sexual assault. That wasn't acceptable, as it shouldn't have been. both of them can be true. Like neither one needs to be acceptable, but the internet just picks.
Men have to create this space for themselves to whereas they're not going to tolerate those type behaviors, right?
Oh, facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like the first time, like whatever Mariah did to Zion, like what her on Twitter, that was the outburst. He's been dealing with this behavior prior. Right?
Absolutely.
Like this behavior did not come out of nowhere. As men, you do have to create this ideal or the standard of, the first time something happened, it doesn't matter how much fun I'm having with her, how much I want to see her. Like, look, the first time a woman throw her phone at me, she has to leave and I can't see her anymore. Right?
But Zion, she said it. Old girl said it. She said, I gave you head so good you cried.
Yeah, but here's the thing though, right? Like the first time she recorded that and she leaked it back to me, I have to be like, I told you not to do this.
But have you ever got head that you cried off of?
I mean, I done had some mistake laden, women in my life. Like I have no business with this woman, but I could also assure you that they would not put their hands on me and they would not violate.
Y'all saw how he slipped that? He Floyd Mayweathered that. I said, have you ever got head that made you cry? And he did that shoulder shit that Floyd do. Look, if she making you cry, you letting some shit slip through the cracks.
Nah, man. Like, cause I mean, again, as a man, at some point you have to have enough sexual discipline to be like, what is it going to cost me beyond everything? Like, here's the thing: if Mariah goes down, it hurts nobody. If Zion goes down, there's probably 20 people that will not have homes.
20? You mean more than 20?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So as a guy, again, that's your part of being a man. Being a man is not having a dick between your legs. Being a man is actually understanding that, like, too many things rely upon me for me to be undisciplined.
Shout out to that girl that made me cry. Don't ever post it on the internet though. Okay?
You let her record?
Nah, man. But these hoes. You never know with these hoes, man.
That's what you guys y'all keep messing up.
Never mind. I was gonna say she fat now, but I ain't gonna say it. Hold on. Dr. Umar got something to say. Come on, Dr. Umar.
Be patient with our women because we created that personality. We created that, and then we want to act like we didn't play a role.
We have to be held accountable for their poor selection.
No, you have to be held accountable. No, you have to be held accountable because they have a poor selection. See, what you're saying, you're selecting a poor mate. And what I'm saying is they don't have much to select one, so of course you're going to end up with a poor mate. And why is she going to end up with a poor mate? Because we as black men are not raising black boys to be the men that our women need. We are not.
Damn, Dr.
They
Umar.
out there killing themselves right now. What we doing about it? Unemployed black males, what we doing about it? Pants sagging, weed smoking, what we doing about it? Black men are not raising black boys to be the men our community needs. That is 100% our fault. What I'm saying is she got a right to be angry with us. She got a right to be angry.
Now, before we get started, I love Dr. Umar. Everybody actually knows that. I even got a button of Dr. Umar on here.
Oh, we got a problem.
That ain't him. That's Ice Cube. That's Dr. Umar right there. Donations. We are taking donations to our Cash App. Please look us up. Dr. Umar is my guy. But Dr. Umar
said that men need to take in these boys that are fatherless.
Dr. Umar said women poor pussy selection is actually on men. Poor pussy management, excuse me. He said it's actually men's fault. That was tough.
Here's the thing, man. We know panda shit's gonna go.
It's
fly.
panda season.
Yeah, it is 100% panda season. Look, if at some point as a community we have to say having out of wedlock babies is not producing the outcome or the result that we're looking for. Now, if we think that that's not the problem, right? If we're saying to ourselves, well, it's not having out of wedlock babies that's the problem. It's something else, right? We've been trying to have that conversation for the past 50 years that it's something else. It's not something else. Children being raised without fathers is becoming problematic. Now, Dr. Umar is saying, like, fellas, run in there and take care of them kids regardless. Yeah. I'm telling you guys, hell no. It's not your responsibility. That is not your responsibility at all. You know who? And the person whose responsibility it is that child's father. And if that child's father don't pick up the responsibility would be that child's father's father or that child's mother's father. So he's right to a certain extent. A lot of this bad behavior and poor management is because of men, because the grandfathers aren't shit and the fathers aren't shit. Right now, we can't We cannot make women sleep with men who are good, right? But I had a conversation online with a young lady, and it was basically along the lines of, I was like, look, I agree with your point, but you would have to agree that if a man makes $70,000 plus a year, that he's actually going to be in the upper echelon of men. And her comment was, no, he's not in the upper echelon of men. So I was like, so you're telling me that the median income for women in this country is $36,000 a year. And if a man is actually making twice that, right? You're telling me that he's not in the upper echelon of men. Like, y'all want men that make $150,000. That literally doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It 100%. There is no 26-year-old guy in this country. Now, you'll have these anecdotal outliers. But by and large, there's no 26, 28-year. Dude, you can have an MBA, graduate from Ivy League college, all right? The first year associate salary at most law firms is $120,000 a year. Mm-hmm. All right? And you might get a $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 bonus for the firm, right? This is if you are one of the smartest, most intelligent motherfuckers in the States.
Yeah, well, you know the joke is these women just assume that you want them. And we know the rule. If you don't want them, what are you? Broke or gay?
Yeah. But the problem is, women can want whatever ridiculous thing it is.
Y'all can.
They can. I don't have a problem with that.
Me either.
When men reinforce these behaviors, despite knowing better, that's where I have a problem. And Dr. Umar basically saying that, like, yo, they should be upset. Well, look, sure, be upset. That's fine, right? Mm-hmm. But here's the thing, right? On your healing journey, at some point, you have to realize that, like, wherever situation you're in, I'm there because of me. And if I want to get out of the situation, I'm going to have to get out of it because of me. I tell men all the time, do not make babies out of wedlock. If you do have a child with a woman, make sure you take care of that child. Do not make another baby while you're engaged, taking care of that other child, unless you're married. To me, this is an answer. To me, this is a solution. Nobody wants to do that, though, right? Because that's the hard shit, right?
Yeah.
That's the hard thing. When you meet a woman, we just talk about this all the time when we first started the pod. Fertility awareness, right?
They hated us.
Yeah, we always sit here and be like, "Hey, fellas, you meet a girl, you can't ask her when she ovulating because she's probably not going to know what that date is. But she do know when her period comes. If her period is regular, you can pretty much figure out her ovulation within 2 months. Even if you're reckless, you can miss that ovulation window by a freaking mile. It works. It works. Everybody try to tell you that. Y'all will try to argue that women can get pregnant 30 days out of a 30-day month or 28 days out of a 28 day month. And it's just scientifically not true. So
I'm not a nurse or a doctor. That's on Mike. Y'all take that.
So when you are a guy and you like, yo, we should be telling these young boys that, like, hey, if she's not tracking her ovulation, you need to be tracking her ovulation unless you're prepared to be a father.
Yeah, bruh, if she ain't got the tracker on her phone, bruh, please get up out of her bed.
If she ain't got a tracker on her phone, but no, how about this, though? She ain't got a tracker on her phone, put the tracker on your phone, bruh.
Well, he ain't gonna know because he ain't gonna. It's too much miss.
Dude, you got what? Glow, you got Clue. It's not. Here's the thing: if you kick it with a girl for over 2 months, bruh,
oh yeah,
you're going to figure out when her period is because she's gonna be like, my period is here. My period is coming. She's going to tell you every day. You know why? Because she's ready for it to be over so she can get back to business with you if she waits. But here's the thing.
Hey, nothing wrong with running a red light.
Yeah. But when it gets light, though, right? Like, what's she going to tell you? How many of y'all fellas I heard this out here when you like, hey, your period sit on.
I'm just spying.
I'm just spying.
Well, let's get to it then.
You know what you do? You know what you do? You pull up the app and you put light. Spotting, right? And then the next day, when you pull it up, if she ain't spotted, period's off. Dude, in 60 days, it will sync her ovulation tracking, and you do not have to go out here and be one of these shitty dudes. Because, go ahead. The shitty dudes are going to have the multiple babies, right? The dudes out here that have 4 and 5 baby mamas, those dudes are shitty, and the women that have babies by these dudes, I ain't telling you to avoid them. I'm just telling you that, like, hey, kind of should have seen that coming.
Oh, bro, she baby mama number 3 to a dude. Run. Look, I keep giving y'all the red flags, and these ladies be killing me for it, but they ain't told me I'm wrong yet. You know, it's a reason why Dr. Umar got to pander to single moms out there. Because whenever that school get built, You know, whenever. It ain't being built. I don't know what's going on.
That school ain't gonna ever be built.
It's
man.
never gonna be built.
We will finish that school. That school
Absolutely.
would never get built.
You know what I'm saying? And I did love when Dr. Umar got on the Breakfast Club. He was like, yo, I had to find white folks to come help because black folks don't be. All right, that's cool, Dr. Umar, whatever you want to say, bro. But he needs those women to bring their sons to his school so he could be the black saving grace. And I'm cool with that. It's whatever. If y'all fall for it, I'm going to let you fall.
Look, I'm always going to look. I love a good hustle, so I'm never going to attack anybody's grift. I mean, I done told you I let Candace Owens go at her grift, right? Like I'm for a good hustle. But
Facts.
This idea that men are bad because men do not want to be stepfathers to bastards, that is not something that I'm okay with, right? And I'm not saying it, and I'm not calling, your little kids little bad bastards just to be mean. I'm saying that, like, yo, we do have to recognize in our community that this shit has become culture. And that all the men in the community, especially the educated men in the community, especially the high-earning, not rich yet men in the community, especially the men who are married in the community, that at some point probably will become available because divorce rates are at 50%. So when these men do become available in their 40s and 50s and you want access to these men, that these are not the behaviors that these men want to sign up for. So that's all I'm saying. Look, do what you want to do. The church of do what you want to do is packed on every Sunday. We have Charlotte is like the hotbed for mega churches, right?
Absolutely.
Every Sunday, it is filled with people that want to do what the hell they want to do.
Oh, and I said this on Facebook. I'm going to say it here. Y'all be careful with letting these Instagram influencers baptize y'all. A lot of y'all going to get to them gates. God going to pull up your YouTube video, and that baptism is not going to be valid. I'm telling y'all, I done took pictures of a couple of these people. All right? They didn't hit me up. They didn't DM me.
They gonna pull it on YouTube.
I done met they side chicks. They dipping y'all in that water, and hey, a lot of y'all gonna be surprised. Shout out to, people getting their gigs off, and shout out to my homegirl Tequila. I was in Atlanta hanging out with her, and she asked me, was I going to somebody's special event? And y'all know his voice. Hold on, man.
How are you a prize if you only allow one man to compete for it? As soon as you meet a man you like, you allow only him to run the race for your heart. And you call yourself a prize. That ain't a prize. That's a participation trophy. It ain't a prize. Sometimes what you got to say is, until I find a man worthy to earn my exclusivity, I am dating other people and let the best man win. That's because I'm a prize. I'm awarded to the person that finishes the race, that proves to be the most valuable, the most ready. Not because I meet one person and I allow him to run the race by himself, because at that point, he can take his time, can't he? He can choose to take breaks. He can sit down because he know nobody else is running. If you want me, earn me. Because if he thinks that you're supposed to take yourself off the dating market simply because he likes you, but he's not ready to actually step up and be a husband or a boyfriend, and that you're supposed to keep him as your only option, no. Tell him my heart is not a participation trophy. It is a prize.
I swear, you niggas that get caught cheating, y'all hand clap.
I don't think he's got caught cheating yet. I think he has a living girlfriend though that he has not married.
You niggas are top tier scammers.
How would he feel if his girlfriend kept dating? Because he has not married her. How would he feel about that?
He will be on here crying.
Yeah.
In front of that, I told y'all his metaphor. Look, Ace metaphor. I told y'all his method to his madness. It is what it is. Here's the joke: the roles were reversed. That might be the title of this episode. If the roles were reversed, and I'm talking to a girl, and I'm out here just dating multiple women at multiple times, I can't afford it. Don't let no man. Let's get that out there. It is literally financially irresponsible to be dating multiple women.
It is financially irresponsible
in 1 year
to be dating a bunch of women.
Absolutely. Even if shorty, let's say we work the same job, and this doesn't even happen. Let's say me and you work the same job in the same company on the same floor, everything, right? I make 80 and you make 60. Now, that's not possible. But let's say it's a $20,000 gamble. Yeah. Let's say I'm dating 5 women throughout the year. Because we're just dating. Let's say I'm not even sleeping with you.
Yeah.
There's no way that you're going to come to me and say, yo, I want to marry you, even though you spent 20 grand on women and now we make the same. And, because I want to date on my level. It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And low key is a joke.
Yeah. Low key, y'all guys do not have to pay for every date. You know, I don't come in here and tell y'all like, yo, you know, these women.
I think you did say dudes got to pay for every date.
No. I'm saying like when you're dating, like, when you date, not like your first date. But I'm saying like when you're in
that tape.
Yeah. When you're in a relationship, like you don't have to pay for every day. Like,
I don't. Not with my wife.
Your woman can, you know,
the
handle
money she make.
So if you want to be financially responsible, you should get into a relationship. But if you're just out here and you want to go out with 6, 7, 8 women. And if men was to make this comment, if men was to be like, yo, I'm going to go out here with 8 women and may the best woman win.
Yeah.
Right? That would be seen as toxic masculinity.
Absolutely.
Right? That would be seen as sexually irresponsible. Like, how are you sleeping with all these women, right? Even though the man never said that. However, you know, we have these fucking panda bears, these boys that have their granddaddy's last name instead of their daddy's last name, that are out here running around.
Granddaddy metaphor.
Yeah, that are out here running around and tell women like, yo, make all these dudes compete for you. And this is the thing. You could do that if you're that smooth, if you're that beautiful, and if you're that honest, right? If you're not, look, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, according to what they say. It's not what Plotinus said, but, you know, everybody else says that. If you think that you could just go out here and just make men feel any kind of way and make men say, you know what, I'm out Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. You can take me out on Friday, though. And if you think that'll fly,
go ahead.
Right, go ahead and do it, right? But you better be stunning, right? Because most men are going to be like, whoa, yeah, that's not what I'm looking for. Because most men are not doing that. Most men are not dating 8 women at a time.
Absolutely.
Like maybe 2 or 3.
Maybe.
And that's if he's really good with women.
Yeah, because it gets expensive. I remember when I met my wife, I was out there. Bruh, she, you know, my wife is slick. You know, the more I think about it, man, she pulled a stunt. Because, you know, look, me and her used to just hang out on Tuesdays and Thursdays, right? In the weekends, because of our work schedule, we was at work, whatever. The next you know, it turned into Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays. Then it turned into Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays. The next thing you know, my wife made a joke. It was like, yeah, I know you ain't cheating on me. We wasn't even dating fully, right? And I said, how? She said, when you got time to.
Yeah, you over here every day.
You over here every
and
damn day.
And it's nothing wrong with that.
And it's nothing because I noticed how much money I started saving, dog.
Yes.
Because I don't have to waste my time and waste taking you out.
And I like this woman in front of me.
Yeah, and you mad cool. And now you paying for our dates. Now, here's the thing, fellas. I know this is a dad's podcast, and I want to help y'all out. Come to my congregation. Look, as the deacon of this church, we do take up offering. Please hit our Cash App. It has slid over the YouTube banner right now. Please donate to the Cash App. We're going to be like these girls who want to be transactional. Ace, metaphor. If you talking to a girl and she, go to her TikTok. Go to her like videos. If Ace in there, you need to get up from the table. You need to leave.
Yeah. Matter of fact, a good bit of these dudes, I follow a good bit of these guys. So when I do like meet somebody and I click on their profile, it shows me who they follow. And I'll be honest, if they following all the panda bears, I'm not even interested.
Oh yeah, if she
I'm not even interested,
bruh. Ace that. If you looking at a chick and she does that, yo, men can have 100 babies in a year, women can only have 1. Leave her. Not because that's false information, because it doesn't happen. And some reason she think it's cool, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things. If she loves Summer Walker, I'm just giving you a heads up. Summer Walker disappointed me, man. I put it in the group chat. When she's, you know, her and who's she beefing with at the moment?
I don't know, but
she's beefing with another woman who Just Hilarious. Her and Just Hilarious have been going back and forth. And Summer was out here, you know, yo, if I want to be hood, if I want to be ratchet with my multiple kids with multiple baby daddies and all that type of logic. And to me, it was just like, yo, we got to be careful what we talk about and what we putting on the kids. And Summer Walker ain't the only person that disappointed me. I was listening to the Spider-Man soundtrack. 2 Chainz didn't get the memo. Nobody else. If you ever get a chance, play it for your son. The Spider-Man soundtrack. Okay. It's Metro Boomin produced it. Future on there, Uzi Vert is on there, Wayne is on there, 2 Chainz. It sounds just like any other thing. There's no cursing on it. There's no N-word. There's no bleeping. I don't know how Metro Boomin got every rapper not to curse, but bro, and it sonically sounds great. 2 Chainz is the only one, because I'm an adult, I know that he's talking about smashing. Yeah. And I'm just like, bruh, what are you doing? Like, even Lil Wayne described it a little bit. Like he hit it a little bit, but damn, man. But yeah, man, y'all got to be careful with these chicks, man. Mike said he don't even want to talk about my mans over here who want y'all to make $100K because that's easy to do. Look, Mike says this every episode. We have to make more money.
We have to make more money. And I'm not saying 100K is easy to do. What I'm saying is it's possible.
It is possible.
But the thing is, you don't have to really get to 100. Like, you got to keep your debt low, right?
Facts.
That's the biggest thing. Keep your debt low. Stop spending money on frivolous shit, right? Sometimes
Facts.
that includes dating 5-6 women at a time. Like,
Facts.
date a woman, talk to a couple women, vet women before you actually go out with them.
Facts.
Women, you will spend a lot of money on women.
Facts.
So, you don't really have to make that much money. Now, we have to make more, but you don't really have to get to 100K. And I think that's been lost in translation. If you get above 50 and if you have low debt, or if you can actually buy a home in like 30 miles outside of a major city, and that area blows up, that'll actually create wealth for you as well. But I'm not going to ever sit here and just tell guys, be like, oh, it's 100K or bust. Like, nah, it's a lot of good dudes out here making $60,000, $70,000 a year. There's guys that are busting their ass to make 100, right? Guys who are finishing concrete. You probably make $100,000 a year. You probably make more than that, depending on where you're at in the country.
I know an Uber driver who made last year $150K.
Yeah,
dead ass.
But they busting their butts though.
He was dog tired.
Yeah, they're busting their butts. So it's like, as men, get to that point. But let's spend our money better. Let's settle down. Like, the biggest key to wealth is being in a relationship, right? Having a relationship, right? And I'm not talking about your live-in girlfriend, because y'all never gonna ever combine anything
50-50.
As live-in people. You're saving money 50-50, but y'all never really gonna combine. I'm talking about find somebody that you actually want to be in a family with and marry and create that future and that family together. Not having babies out of wedlock. Like, that's like the biggest drain on money. I mean, I look at myself and my son's mother. We live up the street from one another. We are probably kicking out $2,500 a month separately, right? Not together. Like, just stuff that if we were married, we'd be saving.
Facts.
$3,000 a month.
Facts.
So there's so many places where as men we drain money, right? So yeah, you got a baby mama, child support, 2 baby mamas. Yeah, you probably need to make $140,000 a year, but where are you gonna make it? It's not that many jobs in this country that pays that.
Absolutely.
Everybody can't hustle. I know hustlers. I used to know hustlers. I'm way beyond that life now.
Breaking up in the studio.
Yeah, but it's like,
get on the ground. I'm snitching.
Yeah,
I don't even got no names.
It ain't a ton of dudes out here that's making money like that. It's like a few in every city. Like, every time you walk in, it's the same dudes. It ain't a crew of 100 dudes when you walk in there.
Yeah.
It might be 100 dudes around, but in that group it's 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, maybe 6 or 7 in larger. Everybody ain't making that kind of money, bro.
I do want to. One day we got to figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out when I'm gonna bring it to the pod. Why is 100K that number for men always? What's so magical about that number? And I guess and the funny part is, I remember one time when my uncle was getting a job, and for those who I know, because it's not none of y'all business, but he works at a college and he's pretty high up in that college. And I remember he gets his PhD, and it's like we know he's gonna go off to be a president of a college, of a university. And I remember I said to my mom, I was like, that's so dope. He about to make all this money. And my mom goes, yeah, because student loans ain't cheap. And I just, at that point in time, I wasn't even in high school, so I didn't get it. But then, I say all that to say, it's cool if you in the top 10% in the country, top 5%. But if your expenses match the same thing, then you're not making no money. You live paycheck to paycheck as well.
Exactly.
But y'all just be smarter, man. And look, they are passing mics out. They ain't passing these mics out, but they passing mics out to these niggas out here, and they just getting flagrant with it, man. Look. I want to thank y'all once again. I know we here. Thank you to Mike for being back. Look, man, it got bored, man. Y'all sitting over here. I didn't know if I should work, if I shouldn't.
Hey, man, back, ready to go ahead and take this pod up to 100,000. Since we talk about the big number, 100,000, and
yeah, that's the 100,000.
Hey, we'll talk about Brazil. Y'all boys want to head down to Carnival?
Let us know.
In the comments.
Yeah, hit us up in the comments. We will be in Brazil in February.
Yeah.
I will be there. Now I might. Yo, My wife definitely didn't make it this far in the podcast. So, baby, don't even worry about it, man. I told you here, I'm going. You know what I'm saying?
She's going to be right down there with you.
Absolutely. Guarding my ass. I'm going to be pissed. Anyway, we're going to holler at y'all next time.
Holler at your boy.